Your puppy is 2 weeks old if you are on the list for a shadow Pebbles puppy from Van Isle Labradoodles. Hi, I'm Claire and these are our petite Australian Labradoodle puppies, and in today's video we're going to discover, do any of them have their eyes open? We're going to talk a little bit about why puppies are born with their eyes and ears sealed shut. We're going to give you an update on Mama Raven, and we're also going to talk about the important partnerships in your puppy's life. So we're going to start off with talking about Raven. Raven is a miraculous girl. She's very tiny, and yet she has 8 puppies who are all gaining weight like mad. They all have gorgeous shiny coats. She has so much energy, I wish I had 1/10 of it. So we have her maternity ward buddy, Kinsey, next door. And I hope you're following along with all of our update videos and know that Kinsey has ants in her pants. Kinsey has severe FOMO and she is like, oh, I have to see what's going on. And so if you watched her week 2 litter update, you'll know that we decided to let Kinsey run around out in the back of the property before her puppies were 5 weeks old. And that's worked wonders for Kinsey. But of course, Raven was like, well, hey, can I go too? So we decided, all right, we would let Raven go as well. So today, just before I was feeding them lunch, I took all of the dogs outside. We have 7 of them here with us right now. We all ran around, we went for a walk, and I was throwing the ball for Ripple. And of course, this one here, who is Ripple's granddaughter, she's right in there with Ripple. She's lactating and feeding 8 babies. She smoked Ripple by a country mile. She had no problem blowing past her. And then when the ball was up in the air, there she is, 3 feet off the air, jumping to get the ball. It's incredible. It's only 14 days since she gave birth to 8 puppies. You'd never ever know she had any puppies. So clearly, Raven is thriving. Her appetite continues to be really strong. She eats really well. It's lovely. I don't need to worry about encouraging her. I don't have to hand feed her. She's eating just fine all on her own. And she and Kinsey have enjoyed a couple of meals in the Doodle Den with our other dogs, although primarily Raven is much more comfortable eating with her puppies. Where Kinsey is happy to leave her puppies until we tell her to come back, Raven is very, very attentive, very aware of how long she's away from them, and 15 minutes is about her maximum comfort zone. After that, she's at us and going, I'd like to go back now. And sometimes all she does is come in and check. She counts them, make sure everyone's all right, and then she's okay to come back again for a few minutes. But generally speaking, Raven's here in the box looking after her little ones. It's just a different type of mothering style. And it doesn't mean that she's a better mom than Kinsey. It just means that that is what works for her. So now, what about these puppies and their eyes? Well, almost everybody knows that dogs are born with their eyes sealed shut. But most people aren't aware that their ears are also sealed shut. And the reason for that is because the puppy's nervous systems aren't ready to interpret all the external stimuli. So when they open their eyes and their ears is dependent on the development of their nervous system. As soon as their nervous system can handle it, their eyes will open, and that will be followed by their ears opening. Sometimes their ears open almost immediately after their eyes do, and other times it takes a little while before they do open up. So once the puppy's eyes and ears are opened up, that is our cue to move them out of the maternity ward and into the Doodle Den. Sometimes we move them before. If the puppies are really up on all fours, gallivanting around, and we have a larger litter like this with 8, and it's too crowded in the box for them, then we'll move them before all of their ears are open. But I really like to wait if possible. So now, how are we going to look after these puppies once you take them home? Well, last week you got a video all about getting your house ready, thinking about different zones, where the puppy will be allowed, where it will be a puppy-free zone, thinking about getting everything done in terms of safety. This week, your video is going to be talking about finding a vet, a groomer, and a trainer. These are 3 critical partnerships for your puppy. And like having your relationship with us as your breeder, it's a relationship that we hope will last a lifetime. And you don't need to continue going to school with your puppy if you're content with going to puppy socialization classes. Those are key and an absolute must. And then followed by, when your dog is about 6 months old, going to a manners type of course. If that's fine and you're good with that, you don't ever need to go back. But if you're someone who enjoys taking advantage of the Australian Labradoodle temperament, you may want to consider going to a tricks class, or you may want to go to a scent detection class or agility. All those things are wonderful fun for your dog and you. I will just say as a word of caution, don't go because you think your dog is going to have fun or you're having fun. Make sure your dog is enjoying what they're doing. My dog Spirit loves scent detection work, and it gave her confidence and made her much more comfortable around strange people. It was a really good choice for her. Ripple, I put into agility classes. I thought for sure she would love it because Ripple leaps and jumps. Ripple can jump over the doorknob with no problem every morning onto the door saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. So it seemed to me that agility would be something she'd be all in for. Nope, she did not enjoy it whatsoever. She would look at me and she would do everything without any trouble. She learned it really fast. Her tail wasn't up and wagging. Her face wasn't smiling. She was just looking at me like, okay, why are we doing this? So it clearly wasn't something that she enjoyed. So we didn't continue. I liked it. I was hoping I could go because I thought it was great exercise for me, but it just didn't work for her. There's another activity, and there's a new pool near us, and that's called dock diving. Ripple loves to chase things, as I was saying about with the ball, as does Raven. So dock diving is your dog is on a dock, there's a swimming pool, you throw the object, the dog runs and then leaps off of the dock, and the dog who goes the farthest distance is the champion. So I'm not sure if Ripple will like that or not. I have a feeling she probably would do it if I ran with her, but that's not actually an option as far as I know. I would like that too, especially when it's really hot like today. But I'll take her, I'll let her tell me what we want to do. So that's what I mean by making sure it's an activity your dog enjoys. Now, if your dog is lacking in confidence, then that's a different story. Spirit has a long story. We won't go into that today, but she did need to develop her confidence. And that was why I put her into scent detection work. And the first couple of times we went, she hated it. She was uncomfortable. We didn't do anything. We just sat and watched. By the 3rd time, she was like, okay, I'll try something. And by the 4th time, it was like, oh, wow, this is fun. And by the time we had gone through the whole class, she really quite enjoyed it. I'm sure if we wanted, we could continue with her, and she would probably be an excellent dog for being able to detect a variety of things if we wanted to go that far with her. So that brings me back to choosing a trainer. So you want a trainer who is in touch with your dog, not a trainer who says, this is what we're going to learn and this is how we learn it. We want a trainer who understands each dog is an individual. Just like you don't go to school and you teach every child the same way, every puppy learns differently and needs to be approached differently. So I suggest you go to a couple of classes, observe, make sure you're comfortable. watch the trainer. Is that what they're doing? Because that's what you want to look for. You also want a trainer who is familiar with Australian Labradoodles, understands that they are not a doodle, they are not an Aussie doodle, and they are not a Labradoodle, and they're not a golden doodle. They are an Australian Labradoodle. Each of those dogs, each of those breeds has different requirements and has a different basic DNA to them. So you're looking for a trainer who understands that. Now, if you live on Vancouver Island, the class that we highly recommend is Communicanine. They're located in Brentwood Bay and well worth the drive. Excellent classes, wonderful teachers. I don't know how many of our Van Isle Labradoodle puppies they've trained, but those puppy classes are absolutely superb. So I would really recommend, if your puppy is right here in front of me, get on the list so that you're going to a class within 5 to 10 days of taking your puppy home. Now, the next thing is your groomer. Again, there's a lot of differences in groomers. You want to have a groomer who knows what an Australian Labradoodle is, knows how to clip them correctly. If you look at Raven, it helps if I can remember your name, right? If you look at Raven, she's extremely short at the moment. She's clipped up really short because she has babies, but she still has that classic ALD teddy bear look, which has fullness here through the mustache. There is no shaving that goes on here. This is hand clipping, and the top of her head is full and is blended in with her ears, which are cut super short right up to the leather with a steep angle to blend into the neck area. You are getting an ALD because you like how they look. You like the breed for many things, but how they look is one of the key things that made you pick this breed. So getting a groomer who keeps your ALD looking like an ALD is really important. Now, some of our families really seem to enjoy a Cocker Spaniel type of cut, and that's where their dog's ears are way down here. They are shaved up through the face here, and the fullness in this area isn't there as much. If you like that, great. Personally, I don't mind that cut, but not on an ALD. But it's up to everybody. It's your dog. You can make them pink if you want. It's totally up to you. When you go to a groomer, you want to go check it out. Make sure it's clean, tidy. Make sure you're able to see the dogs that are being groomed, and ask them to see their book. They'll have a book with pictures in it. Ask them to show you their ALD clips. You'll want to make sure that it looks like the standard clip for that. And also post on the community group. Say, hey, I live in, where do you like to go for a groomer? And if you get some suggestions, ask those people to post a picture of their dog, because if you want the ALD clip and their dog has ears down to the ground, that might not be the groomer that you want to go to. And lastly, but probably the most important relationship, is with your vet. Now, we used to have the luxury of interviewing vets, asking them what their approaches were, and having a choice for where we went. That's not the case ever since COVID. In your video that you'll get this week, it talks about doing all those things, because that video was shot before COVID. It's about 4 or 5 years old now. So now, I recommend, if you do not already have a vet, right away to start looking for a vet. If you had a dog before, chances are they will still, your old vet will still let you come with your new puppy. Phone and make sure that that's the case. You have the date of your puppy's wellness exam here, and you have your going home date for your puppy. So you'll be needing to book an appointment for 3 days after your puppy goes home. So you know what the date is. You can already book that appointment and make sure you can get in. If you can't find the vet that you like, find one that's taking new people. That will be your vet for now, and then go on a waiting list. People do drop off, people's dogs do pass away, people move, places do become available. So put your name on wherever you want to be. And basically what you want is the same sort of thing. You want a vet who knows what an ALD is, a vet who doesn't call your dog an Aussie Doodle, a Poodle mix, or a Lab mix, because that's not what your dog is. Australian Labradoodle is a breed. It is a recognized breed. IDEX, which lists all the recognized breeds in North America, is what your vet will use for all of their software. So it's very easy for them to go to the A's and find Australian Labradoodle and click the button to make sure you have the right breed. Why is this so important? Again, what works for an ALD is different than what works for a Rhodesian Ridgeback. Temperament, it's important to understand the dog's temperament when they're at the vet. And even more key is if you go ahead and get pet insurance, the rate is based partially on your dog's breed. ALDs enjoy one of the lowest rates as they are one of the healthiest breeds. So you want to make sure that your vet records accurately state what your dog's breed is. Australian Labradoodle, not an Aussie Doodle, which is an entirely different breed, not a Doodle, and not a Poodle cross or mix. So get started on finding all three of those people. Ideally, you're going to be signed up for your training classes in the next week or two. You're going to have a grooming appointment booked, or at least a groomer sorted out. You may not have to book the appointment yet. And you'll have your vet found and your first visit 3 days after you take your puppy home all lined up, so that everything's in place. When you take your puppy home, you want to focus on your puppy. You don't want to be worrying about, oh, how do I set this up? Or how's that going to work? Or, oh my gosh, I have to make a vet appointment. Or, oh goodness, is now the time they go to the groomer? You want all your ducks in a row before your baby comes home, so you can spend all your time having a beautiful relationship and building your trust and your respect from your dog to you. All right, so now let's talk about the puppies. Let's go through each of them. We'll go through their weights. We'll do them in birth order, and we'll see if anyone has their eyes open. Now, we might have a puppy with their eyes open that we don't actually see their eyes today because they've all just finished nursing, and so they're all kind of out of it now. They're all in la la land and ready for a little bit of a nap, other than Green Collar here, who's still working the milk bar. Green Collar is my little small warrior here, my little tiny warrior. I just love this little guy. He has such tenacity, and he just has captured my heart with his spirit. So first of all, we're going to start with Blue Collar. And Blue Collar's pretty much fallen asleep on the nipple here. Hey, bud, you want to come and say hi, honey? And my little guy. Now you'll hear me still talking to them. No, their ears are not open yet. Nobody has their ears open yet. Mr. Blue has his eyes open, and there he's showing them to you. Yay! Aren't you cooperative? Now you'll see his eyes are blue, which goes with his blue collar. Hey, is my handsome apricot boy here. All puppies have blue eyes when they're first born. Over time, they'll change. Now, this puppy, Mr. Blue, he's going to end up with a very nice light hazel color of eyes. And Mr. Blue weighs 732. Yeah, thanks for showing your eyes. Yay! So often when we do the video, we don't get to actually see the eyes, even though they have opened. Next, we have Pink Collar. Pink Collar is also falling asleep nursing here. Oh, no, that's not pink, is it? No, that's white. Pink, you're smaller. I knew that wasn't you because you're not as big as Mr. White. There's our little Pinky girl, our gorgeous ebony phantom. And Miss Pinky, are you going to show any eyes? Nope, because her eyes are not ready yet. We see, you can maybe see there, she has little slits. I am sure those eyes are going to be wide open tomorrow, but for today, they are not yet open. So we just have to wait a little bit longer to see her beautiful eyes. And Miss Pink is 563 grams. She is doing really well there in terms of her weight gain. She's doing really nicely. You can see she has a very lovely full tummy. Of course, she did just eat. She was just at the milk bar. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to check her out? Everything okay? Yeah, make sure that I did it right. Good girl. There you go. You got it close enough now? That's a good girl, Raven. Next we have black collar. And black collar is right over here. No, you're not black. Oh, yeah, you are black. There we go. Hello. Hello. Hi, sweetie. And this little baby is caramel. A beautiful face there with lots of white markings. And a little black and does not want to show their eyes to us yet. Nope, I don't want to see the world. These eyes are still quite sealed up. They are not quite ready to open up, so it's probably going to be a couple of days. So Mr. Black is 556 grams. So he's just a little bit smaller than Pink. I'll put you right next to your little sister there. And then after that we have red collar. Red collar is still busy eating away here. And we'll see if Red doesn't mind being interrupted. Oh man, that's a really sad thing to have to give that up, isn't it? There's my handsome boy. This is our little apricot party boy. And he has no eyes to show you either. I don't think his are going to open for another couple of days. They're still pretty much sealed shut. But you can see lots of black starting to come in on his nose there. It's really cute when their noses start to fill in. And Mr. Red Collar is 669 grams and is thinking that my hand tastes pretty good. You must still be hungry, so we'll put you back to the milk bar. Your little spot is there for you. You didn't lose it. There we go. Good boy. And now we have yellow collar. Yellow collar is our only chocolate in the litter. And he is a chocolate party. And he's got eyes. And he's going to show them to you, I think. There we go. Showing everybody his pretty blue eyes. His eyes are just barely open. They just opened up this morning. So you're not going to see too much there. But you can see a hint of blue shining through. And Mr. Yellow Collar is 702 grams. This is one chunky puppy. Yes. You're a little bit of a fatty patty. Yes, you are. And then we have Mr. Green Collar, our little tiny warrior here. I'm going to leave him on the milk bar. I don't like to take him away. He is the smallest puppy still. He is 479 grams, and I can tell you his eyes are not open, so you're not missing anything out there. I think his eyes are probably going to be opening in about 2 days' time. They're pretty much sealed shut yet. Then we go to Silver Collar. Silver, Silver, where are you? Silver. Oh, where is Silver Collar? I gotta find him. I'm missing a puppy. Oh, way back here. No wonder I can't find you. Hiding. Goodness gracious, we're gonna have to do a little bit of adjustment here to get you out. There we go. Silver Collar is our pretty red boy. He is showing us that he is not interested in seeing you or me or anybody else. I have my eyes firmly sealed shut. This is exactly the same look that you would have seen on Green Collar. Eyes completely sealed shut, not ready to open. But I expect in 2 days, this little guy's eyes are going to be open. And Silver is 676 grams. And last but not least, because he is actually the most, weighing in at a hefty 797 grams. This boy does have his eyes open. As everybody knows, this is my favorite look in the whole world for an ALD, the black and white. I just love that classic combo. And you can see those big blue eyes there. He opened his eyes first. His eyes were open on day 12. So he liked to be right out in front and center. And he already is picking his head up and looking at us whenever we come in. You can see him straining to see things. Can he see me? Well, not really. All he can see is a big blob. That's about it. Does he know it's me? He knows it's not Raven. That's about as far as it goes. So that's all the kids for you this week on our week 2 update for these petite Australian Labradoodle puppies. We have 8 beauties puppies here, and we still have one spot open. These puppies are going home on October the 20th. They will mature to 20 pounds and less. So 20 pounds will be the bigger ones, like yellow and silver there. And if you're interested, please go to our website, find our application form, and shoot it off to me, and we'll see if we can't give you one of these beauties from Raven and the Shadow Pebbles litter. Thanks so much for watching, and we hope to see you again next week.